So we are finally back here at Gridlife, and it's a good feeling to be here. We're kicking off this year. This is the spring kickoff, and it's starting here at Gingerman, which is kind of like Gridlife's home track. The first competitive event with any car, let alone with the Civic. We're just gonna have a lot of fun. That's what Gridlife's all about. And if the car is competitive, then awesome. But I have absolutely no basis for it could be way off pace or it could actually be competitive. I have no idea. Street class, which is kind of the entry-level class for street cars, obviously. That's the class that I built this car for. I like having my cars be streetable. Some of these other cars that are here look like they're going to be more competitive. We've got Evos, STIs, but you know, that's okay. We're here to have fun and shake the car down. This is the first real event that the car has gone to, and we'll see what happens. I am quite nervous. I'm going to be slow. I know I'm going to be slow right at the gate. This car is still obviously a very new setup, which means there's a lot of stuff that hasn't really been dialed in. When you mess with everything at once, it's never really a good idea, especially if you're trying to be competitive on track, because there's so many variables that have changed. So if the car doesn't feel right, I won't really be able to target why. So it's always a good idea to kind of do mods one at a time. That way, if something feels different, you'll know exactly what it is. I unfortunately don't get that blessing, and it's also a track that I've only really been to once, you know, actually putting down hot laps. I was here on the road trip with the Tesla, but let's be honest, that was quite a different experience.
Really appreciate all you drivers coming. The biggest thing I need all you guys to do, guys, girls, etc., is to stay on the track and not explode your heaps of crap. No blown up cars, no dirt everywhere.
I've been watching some of the other people in this class, and they've been doing a lot of work to their cars in the off-season. We've got Josh Halka with a 425 wheel horsepower Subaru. Charles Miller last year did really well. We followed him in some previous episodes, so he's in this class, and an Evo. There's a bunch of other new people to this class, including myself, and I just hope I can be in like top 5. Overall goal for this event would be to break 140.2, which is the current street front-wheel drive record, which doesn't really mean a lot around here because nobody cares about drivetrain platforms. But because I'm at that disadvantage, that's my goal. So we'll see if I can break that magic 140 number. It's going to be tricky, being that it's a new track and a new car for me, but we're going to give it everything that we've got.
There's a lot of really fast cars in this group.
Yeah.
So please just, you know,
Might keep my hand out the window.
Don't drive in the mirror.
Yeah, sure.
Just pay attention to what's coming up
Sure,
behind.
Yeah. Acting a little bit like a pogo stick. The rear damping might be a little too soft, because as I go around corners, if it's any bit of bumpiness in the corner, I feel the rear kind of bouncing around like a pogo stick. So I might have to increase some of the dampening in the rear, see if that helps. But it is not confidence inspiring whatsoever. So that's not good. I'm glad that this is not a high-speed track. If it was a higher speed track, I'd be even more terrified. Right here is a sketchy spot. This is turn 6. In the brake zone, the car gets really squirrely. I'm glad that I got this session, because otherwise I would have probably wasted a hot lap session. So this is good. I get to mess with the car, figure it out, and go from there. This car is so sketchy to drive. It does not want to go in a straight line. I'm just fighting the steering wheel the whole time, and I don't know why. But I think I'm just gonna have to man up and deal with it to put down a fast lap. I did a 146 in that session. I only got one good flyer lap in, so there's definitely more in it. So that's good. You know, I won't be embarrassingly slow, but I cannot describe to you just how sketchy this thing is to drive. Woo! Dude, this car is a handful. This car is 2 handfuls. It doesn't want to go straight. It's just like, I'm constantly skating on ice through the whole track. I don't know if it's because the car is way faster than it should be, or if there's something wrong with like the alignment or something. So I came to Gingerman a year ago with the B16B and I did a 153. So I'm already 6 seconds, give or take, 6 seconds faster than the B series. There's potential. I can definitely shave more off. We'll see. The Civic feels super sketch. It still feels super sketch. And normally I'd be like, well, maybe it's just because the car is more than it's meant to have. But Jackie drove it at the last track day and he was like, this is the scariest thing I've ever driven. So, and it still feels like that. It's, if I could describe this, it's like trying to hold like a marble on top of this. Yeah. It's just like keeps, you know, hopping off to the side, yeah.
Do you have other wheels?
I do.
Like narrow ones?
I have 225 squares.
Try those on the front.
So try to go 225 square all the way around?
Just to see if it helps the stability thing.
I consulted Andy Smedegard, who did the K-swap on the car and has had a hand in every major change that we've done to the Civic this year. He recommended a tire swap, just to get more data.
Take out.
But first, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just a me problem. So I asked for help from the most qualified Honda driver that I could think of.
Hey everyone, I'm Tom O'Gorman. I'm a professional race car driver for Honda, 2-time Pirelli World Challenge champion, and I'm sitting in a Honda right now, first laps of the year on a racetrack. So excited, we're gonna see how it does.
Yeah, thankfully Tom agreed to drive this this heaping pile.
Well, hang on, twist this.
What?
Twist my arm. You gotta.
Yeah. I got him to drive this.
All right, I guess.
Yeah, he's used to TCR Hondas, but we'll give this one a shot.
Quick.
Yeah. Does it feel okay?
It feels fairly normal. I feel a little bit of that, but I'm just gonna let it go. Honestly, the car feels pretty much exactly the way I would expect it to feel.
Okay, so I just need bigger balls.
And it feels really good. Like there's a little bit of push when you overexert the front end, like suddenly. Like in general, it feels really good. It puts power down well.
So it's probably just that I'm not used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like a well-handling front-wheel drive car is a very acquired sensation, and I would qualify this as like a well-handling front-wheel drive car. I think from what I attempt to do in a good front-wheel drive car is get the nose pointed towards the exit of the corner as early as possible to allow the rear to do more of the work for me and allow the front to do the important things.
I mean, for me, I just feel like I'm fighting the wheel more. You're just smoother. I just need to be smoother. But it seems like it's just me. It's just I'm not used to the car, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, this is double the power what it had before.
It friggin' rips.
Yeah.
Like it's really fast. I would probably start throwing rear ride height at it and just try to start pushing the weight towards the nose, getting the nose working a little bit better in steady state.
Okay.
I mean, but it feels pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's good. I like
That's
it.
Awesome.
During his handful of laps in my Civic, with me weighing him down, Tom was able to turn a 141, some 5 seconds faster than I had managed so far this weekend. But with his approval that the car actually drove well, I had the confidence that I needed to go faster.
having Tom drive the car was the best thing that could have happened. Driver mod is definitely the most important thing in any car that you're trying to drive on the track, and having Tom drive the car really gave me a lot more confidence to drive the car a lot harder. Having Tom rotate the car a bunch when he was out there really helped me kind of feel where the weight of the car is, so I was able to toss it around a lot easier, and that was definitely the best thing that could have happened. When Tom drove the car, he did a 141 with me in the passenger seat, so there's definitely still more in the car. I might do some setup changes, a little bit of tweaking to see if I can get it under that sub 140. It's looking a little bit unlikely, but I'm still very happy because the car just flies out there. It's absolutely incredible. As you can see, we're obviously sponsored by Falken, and they've just come out with their newest, latest, greatest tire, the RT660, and it's been showing some very promising results in some testing that they've been doing. So this is a 225/45/15. Unfortunately, they don't make my very rare size of a 245/40/15 yet. I think they're going to make some eventually, but we're going to run a 225 square with this setup for now, which honestly might be a good thing because that's going to help the car settle down a little bit more. Because it's a very rowdy setup and I'm not very used to that yet, this might be a great way to transition and get more comfortable with the car before I go to have something with a little bit more rear slide. So this is going to give the car a little bit more understeer being a square setup, but I do think that these tires are stickier than the current tires that are on the car, so I'm going to have more rear grip and maybe the same front grip, even though I'm 20 mil skinnier. We're gonna find out. We've got a nice benchmark. I did a 143 on the current setup. We'll see if we can go faster with these. So just rolling around in the paddock, the tires are making like a sticky noise. I don't know if that's from the actual sticker that was on the tires or if the tires are just that sticky, but I can hear it rolling through the paddock. So I think we have an increase in grip, and we're going to find out very shortly if that increase in grip translates to a faster lap time. Man, I can't believe it. I shaved 2 seconds off with a skinnier tire. Phenomenal. And my tire pressures weren't even right. I was 32 hot, so I brought that down 5 PSI. I'll have even more grip next session, which means I'm actually close to that 140 mark. All thanks to these freaking tires. Now, I know this is like a sponsored thing. You think we're biased, but like for real, this is the hot setup, man. For a 200 tread wear tire, like it's an unbelievable amount of grip. More grip than 245 width in a 225 width, which, man, when they come out with a 245, that's blowing my mind. So you might have noticed I've lost 31 pounds, and that helps me on track. Not gonna lie, that was part of the reason I was convinced to do some weight loss, but it's not enough.
So how much weight are we taking out of this thing, buddy? You're such a goober. How much does that even weigh? 5 pounds?
Listen, every ounce matters.
3/10.
To make sure all my weight reduction wasn't for nothing, I wrangled 2 more expert drivers to help me dissect my laps and data, Andy Smedegaard and Kobe Shield. They were both able to show me where I could clean up my line, compress my braking zones, get on throttle sooner, and generally eclipse the 140 barrier. By the time my second to last session rolled around, both I and the car were ready to go fast.
I tried to push the brake zone in turn 1 a little bit too late, and I just came in a little too hot. Well, you saw what happened. It looks like I ripped off my front lip, a couple bolts there. I think I can bolt that back up. We got one shot left, one last chance, but it's gonna be hot. So everyone else is saying that the morning session is the fastest session, and my tires are like hard to hold my hand against, they're so hot. So I don't know if this last session is gonna be any better, even if I drive better, but we'll give it my best shot. This is the last session. This is the last chance I have to make anything count. My goal for this session is to just be consistent and actually put laps down, because last session I tried to shave off immediately on turn 1 and you know, botch the whole session. So I'm gonna try my best to kind of slowly work my way up to it. Hopefully I can do at least, you know, 4 good laps out there, and you know, slowly chip away at each lap. 4th place is the goal, and right now that is a Nismo 350Z. He's at a 140.3. So that's my goal. I gotta shave off 1.4 seconds to get that. Hopefully he doesn't shave off any more time as well. But 1.4 seconds, I think I can do it. And if I can, then that gives us a good solid 4th place, which I would be ecstatic to take home a 4th place on the first competition day.
That was a pretty odd experience for everybody involved. Even the safety guys were like, what the heck? What happened was that my exhaust wrapped itself around my lower control arm. They had to cut it off trackside to get the car to move because this was pushed up against the wheel, or I guess it was this way, against the wheel and stopped the rear wheel from rotating. It's crazy. They cut this off the car so that the car would roll because this was actually dug into the tire. And this Falcon tire, it's essentially bulletproof. It still has tire pressure. You can see it like scraped a little bit in there. But all in all, that is a strong sidewall, man. It's stronger than 304 stainless. Wow.
So back to turn 1, that's been a really interesting point for starting.
You think that'll cause a restriction? I don't know. You can't say I didn't try to get that sub 140. I came very close, 1.7 seconds off from breaking under 140. Pretty happy with that considering that I came here with the B series and did a 153, so I shaved off 12 seconds off of that lap time. I think I finished 5th. The final results haven't come through yet, but out of 18, I'm pretty happy with that result, even if it isn't a sub 140. I tried every trick in the book, trying to remove the weight out of the car. I took off probably 30, 40 pounds off the car. Got a lot of advice from other drivers that are much better than myself, and they gave me some tips and pointers on how to drive faster on this track. The biggest difference was probably the change to the Falcon tires. I shaved 2 seconds off right there. Fortunately, in those last couple sessions, I was trying too hard, and the car just started devolving underneath me. So that's more my fault than the car's, and I will definitely get the car fixed up. And this car is only going to get faster.